Yeah, it's been actually in process for some time. As I've told people when we first took office, we were going to first talk to various department heads and individuals that work for the city, kind of listen, learn from them, and then figure out how and where we might make some structural changes in terms of the organizational chart. And this is one that we had been eyeing for a while, and when that storm hit Saturday, figured we'd go ahead and just move forward on it. So that's, again, it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction by any stretch. It's something we've been contemplating for a couple of weeks now.
What's the benefit of putting the fire department in road?
Again, when you have an emergency situation, you have multiple departments that need to come together. And so a lot of it is orchestrated by the fire department. And so having a separate department, the emergency management division, outside of the fire department seemed to be duplicative to me. So we talked with the chief, and as I mentioned earlier, or maybe in our press release, that at one time the emergency management division was under the fire chief, and then it got a separate department. What we're doing is basically putting it back where it once was.
What will this integration look like when it comes to taking those staff members and putting them?
It'll be pretty seamless. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel here. These organizations are designed to work together, and I think just having few of the departments makes it more efficient. So it's not much more than that, really.
I think what we saw on Saturday is the response time is what you said was essentially the failure. By cutting that middleman, do you think that this will allow departments to respond faster when we do have these types of floods?
That's certainly the hope, and it should. But if it doesn't, we'll make further tweaks. We're going to get it right, is the bottom line, so that we can address these situations in the most effective and efficient way possible.
I'm sorry, Mayor, it's a little late, but can you just recap for me? Did Mr. Elmquist resign, or was he fired?
We can't comment on. You missed that, Allie. You can't comment on that, but he did resign.
Okay. And can you say that was a direct reaction to Saturday's event?
Again, I'm not going to comment on that.
During your campaign, flooding is one of the things that you really were passionate about taking steps to fix. This past week when you did a press conference and talked about the plan that was similar to Mayor Mecklenburg's, what are some things that's going to differentiate your plan in the future besides this?
I think the deployment of them is going to be differentiation, first and foremost, to make sure it's better coordinated. And we are putting in place some additional measures based on what we've learned and what we've seen. Because again, what has been on the books, as I mentioned, we had 3 major events since I've been in office, and it wasn't working as efficiently as I'd like for it to work, and I think, or as efficiently as most residents would like for it to work. So that is why we are going to make these modifications.
Can you say how many people otherwise employed in the department besides the director?
I believe it's 4.
So how will those 4 work alongside the fire department? What will that look like on a day of an emergency event? How will the emergency management flow through the fire department?
That'll be up for the chief here to determine, and his staff, but they will be integrated under his umbrella.
Everybody good?
You have anything to add?
So good afternoon. We're excited about the change. We think that the fire department's nature is emergency response and community preparedness. So this should be a hand in a glove for us, and our big goal and our overarching mission is to make sure we have a safer Charleston, and I think we can accomplish that.
Do you think this will make it easier on the fire department as well? I understand y'all are in charge of rescues in those types of situations, or in these types of situations.
It'll be easier for the fire department to coordinate activities. That's the world that we live in when we're not responding to emergencies. all the background work is coordination and preparation for emergencies. So we'll have the ability to pull department directors together very quickly, make sure we have a coordinated plan in conjunction with the emergency that we see.
Awesome. And with these 4 new people coming underneath you, is it your intention to keep those same 4?
Absolutely. For their day-to-day, nothing should change. Their offices will stay the same, their reporting line will change, but they bring a lot of expertise to the city, and we would be remiss if we didn't count on that expertise to take us to the future.
Mayor Cogswell mentioned that you guys are already intimately involved with major flooding, major natural disasters around here. Are you intending on making any changes to how response is going to be worked? There's going to be just consolidated and still kind of working the same way?
Well, we're always looking for efficiencies. So if some immediate efficiencies present themselves, we're nimble enough as a department and as a city organization that we can integrate those, but our day-to-day response stance is going to stay the same.
I have a question about Saturday's flooding. I understand that the high water vehicles were first staffed at 8:30 a.m., but the majority of our flooding was from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. Why were they not deployed earlier?
I know we're pulling together the timeline for that, and I think the plan is to release it at a different time, just because I don't have all the facts straight in my head and I don't want to misspeak.
I just asked because if the fire department is going to kind of head up this new division, they're going to be in charge to make sure we respond adequately, that they were responding adequately as well as Saturday.
Oh, I think without a doubt, what I can say without having the timeline in front of me is that the fire department's response was adequate. In addition to high water vehicles, we have a whole host of fire apparatus positioned throughout the city, and those fire apparatus can go through floodwaters and make sure that the residents and the visitors are taken care of. Yeah.
I'll just say, guys, that I have complete confidence in the chief here. He and I have gotten to know one another a little bit since I've taken office, and I really do have a lot of respect for him, and I appreciate his willingness to step up and take on this added responsibility. So I do want to say publicly thank you to the chief. Thank you all very much. Have a good weekend.